Statistically speaking, there's not a more significant mission field on American soil than the state of Utah. In fact, only 3% of the population can be found in a Christian church on any given Sunday. That figure is far and away the lowest of any state in our nation. But God has a way of working to further His name and His fame in places like this by stirring the hearts of His children to spread a passion for Him to the praise of His glory.
In 2004, Lifeline Community began to form in a living room in a growing suburb of Salt Lake City. This body of people has now grown in 5 short years to a thriving church of 200 souls. Lifeline was started by lead pastor Brian Hurlbut and pastor of worship Darren Summers. These two men began in 2004 gathering people and grooming a core group of committed believers who together launched Lifeline as a public church on January 23, 2005. Over the past 5 years, God has seen this church mark many lives and draw many to a new and deeper life in His kingdom.
It is not what we want to hear, but it's what we need to hear. The gospel, the truth, what Lifeline has brought into our family, we can now try to go out and help spread into this community and show people what a true relationship with Jesus Christ can be like. I'm excited to be part of that movement of sharing this vision forward here in Salt Lake Valley.
We have a huge responsibility with the religion that's within the area to bring people to the truth, and Lifeline does a really good job of doing that. God has used Lifeline for me to even become a believer in Christ. Before Lifeline, my walk with the Lord didn't exist. How to be a better father, a better husband, and a spiritual leader in our home. Lifeline is where God has directed me to be.
God has used Lifeline to personally minister to me and for my family. God has just really used this church to minister to my husband and save him, and totally changed our family.
Since Lifeline left its starting place in a family living room, it has gone from a small 2,400 square foot facility to double that space, and then to 2 services in that space, and finally to utilizing a public charter school. However, now Lifeline is in desperate need of their own building, as their charter school option will run out next year.
At present, we are raising funds to continue what God has begun in a challenging context here in Utah. I can't even believe what's happened these last 5 years. All that God's accomplished through our church in this valley for His glory. It's our prayer that this vision will keep moving forward. You know, all along the way, people all over this country have prayed, have served, have given of their time, their talents, and their treasures to see God's kingdom move forward here in Utah. Now you too could partner with us. We desperately need a permanent facility to use as a platform for God's ministry here in this context. Would you consider giving to see God's ministry go forward in this dry portion of the vineyard? You may never set foot on the soil of this state, but you could make a difference so that God's grace is showered on this state for His glory.